Hello and welcome to another episode of Xenochat Gazette. My name is Tyler, one of the hosts, along with Justin.
Hey guys.
And we have one guest with us today, and that is Anthony. Welcome, Anthony.
It's me. I'm the only real guest on Xenochat.
No. But yeah, we're just keeping it, it's a short day, but go on.
Yeah, and a lot of our other friends are pretty busy with stuff. Like, I mean, we have Otakuton this upcoming weekend, so I know like Nick and HK are very much busy with that. I should be busy with that, but instead I'm going to be stupid and do this podcast.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I was wondering about that.
Oh, don't worry about it.
Okay. Well, we will try not to have it as like our usual 2 or 3 hours.
It's okay. There's a reason I started packing sooner, so...
Let it be known today, August 2nd, 2026, time approximately 2:14 p.m. is approximately the busiest time of the year.
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get ahead and go with the latest news, and that is the release of the Xenoblade Chronicles 2 Switch 2 edition. Huzzah!
Yeah, at least in digital form. The physical will be out way later. I think like October, something like that.
Okay, cool.
I think. Don't quote me on it. I didn't check that.
Really? Wow. So, like, that was actually a question I had, Justin, was like, are we getting Xenoblade 2, like, physically released again?
Mm-hmm.
Because
we are.
If you will recall, this game, for the longest time, has been exceedingly difficult to get physically outside of are they called VGP? I think that's what they're the company
Video
in
Games
Canada.
Plus. Yeah, VGP.
Yeah, they honestly goated company because they made it so much easier to get games that have been out of print for a really long while, and but before they really like stepped in, like this game was really, really hard to find. I remember getting my copy of it years after the fact during the Xenoblade ZBC2 famine. And I think I scored my copy in 2021 or 22. It was one of those. And I walked into a GameStop in New York City, and I'm thinking to myself, there's no way they're going to have it. And I get to the Xenoblade section in the Switches, and I start shuffling like through. I see Xenoblade Chronicles 1, and I don't see anything. I move the Xenoblade Chronicles box to the left, and lo and behold, there it was. Behind, like hidden. If I had to take a guess, I'd say an employee had probably hidden it because they planned on picking it up themselves later on. So, sorry, snuck that one in, and I was like, that to me is probably one of my like biggest GameStop wins was finding a pre-owned copy of that game. I was so happy.
Yeah, because I think like they put out a decent amount of copies initially, but I think that like, you know, people bought them, of course. And it's like, I don't think this game was ever like expensive to get, unlike Torna, but I don't think Xenoblade 2 was ever like super, super expensive on the used market, but you didn't often see it in stores. And I know like I haven't actually seen the regular box art for Xenoblade 2 super often because I had the special edition.
Mm-hmm.
It was getting scalped.
Also had the special edition, so
now
I can confirm that pre-owned copies of Xenoblade Chronicles 2 were like getting quote unquote sold higher than like MSRP.
Okay, but were they like super, super expensive, or was it just like maybe $5 more? I don't know. I'm genuinely asking. So
the only reason I'm mentioning is because I don't remember exactly what it was, but if it was only $5 more, I would have just bought it online. Whatever it was expensive enough that it took me going to a New York GameStop to look for it and like find it there.
Okay.
Because like if I could have just gotten it online, I would have.
So probably not Xenoblade 1 for the Wii era pricing, but still.
Yeah, because I remember that got crazy. I do know Torna also got crazy. I don't know too much with Xenoblade 2. I don't recall it, but it's definitely possible that it was going up as well. I just didn't see it.
Well, the Switch 2 releases, they're $70, aren't they? Or
Oh yeah, they're absolutely $70. And yes, I can confirm that Nintendo's own website says releases October 1st of this year. So I was right with October.
And are they key cards or not?
No, these are physical editions. These are Nintendo Switch 2 editions, so they should also work on Switch 1 as well. But of course, if you were to play it on Switch 1, you're not going to get the new Switch 2 content.
Oh, okay.
But it will work on both consoles.
So that means, then that means the Torna will be on the cartridge. Then.
Torna is on the cartridge, yes.
So
in fact, that's like one of the enhancements is that there is a button to get to Torna on the main menu, so
that's crazy. Wow.
You can access that
Torna
content.
So all of Xenoblade Chronicles 2 was finally like sold as a complete package on one cartridge.
Yep. So I think this is considered to be version 3.0 of the game. I think it's 3.0. Which is like
that alone might make it worth for me to pick it up.
Yeah,
it is still my favorite game in the trilogy. So I mean, oh no, another excuse to buy my favorite game in the trilogy. Oh no.
Yeah, it's version 3.0. I always told myself when they announced it that like if I was gonna get one of them, it would probably be Xenoblade 2. Because yeah, just having all the DLC on there is kind of nuts and just kind of cool that this game has had almost a decade of support, which is wild. Like, what Xenoblade 2 looks like today is very different than what it looked like back in 2017 in December. Because, man, it's not like the game was unplayable back then, but it definitely lacked polish at launch.
Yeah.
It had problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's gotten so much better.
Yeah, they've added so many things, and it's like little stuff. A lot of it's little things, but like it definitely adds up to some really big changes. And yeah,
okay,
it just makes the game like way better now.
You want
if death by 1,000 paper cuts is a thing, then it stands to reason that improvement by 1,000 paper band-aids. I don't know. The
and I think. I think Death by 1,000 Paper Cuts kind of describes the initial experience with Xenoblade 2, and I definitely know that, like, not all, some of the initial hate for the game came from a lot of that, because there were just a lot of, like, little things about the game that were just kind of just sloppy. Like, I remember the game used to crash. I think I've spoke about that, how, like, I remember my game crashed like right after I think Mithra joined the party, and then it also crashed like right at the end of the game too for me. So like, yeah, there was all sorts of stupid stuff like that. The map was really weird in it. It wasn't really great. You couldn't skip the core awakening scenes. You couldn't skip any of the voice lines in the menus. What were some other stuff? Tiger only had the one difficulty.
That's true.
And I remember a lot of people complained about that. What were some other like big things? Those are some. There's no New Game Plus as well.
That's true. Yeah.
I think there was some weird stuff with the audio mixing initially too. There might have been some graphical glitch. I think there was some issues with certain quests. But I'd have to look into that to confirm.
Yeah, I can't remember for sure, but yeah, those are the bulk of the things that, especially the maps. The maps were trying to. Like,
the maps were a big one.
Yeah,
I remember that. And then I know, like, you also couldn't knock down your levels at the inns either.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, you couldn't do that. I think the Blades also didn't have the level 4 specials. The Eye of Shining Justice wasn't a thing initially either.
Oh, and then Mithra's level 4 was later.
And then you also couldn't go beyond S rank on the Affinity. Now you can. You can go up to like S10, which is wild. It takes a long time to do it. But yeah, there's a lot of like little things.
Yeah. So you want to go into the specific improvements for the Switch 2 version?
So the Switch 2 version added a whole bunch of new things, which you could consider version 3.0. There's obviously a new information page on the main screen. Another huge one. This is a huge improvement. Is that now you can actually record clips.
Yay!
You couldn't do that before. They were always blocked. You can record clips. You can also take screenshots without the HUD too, and even do that in cutscenes. That way, like when you do that in cutscenes, they don't keep the subtitles either.
So it's like Xenoblade 3's, wasn't it? They had that first in Xenoblade 3, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, there's still only one save file. They never really did that, which is bad.
I understand with the gacha, but it's still a little annoying. But
yeah.
Oh well.
That was like the one thing I was hoping for was like a better, like an improvement to the gacha system in such a way that like it makes it a little easier to get all of the rare blades, because I mean, you've all heard Robin's speech, like,
right?
There are some folks who are just straight up like where the game just feels straight up broken with how like hard it is to get some of the blades the closer you get to the end of getting them all.
So it's interesting because there's kind of a bit of a debate on that, because some people are claiming that they're getting the rare blades much faster now.
I have heard that, like Cosmos.
But
yeah.
However, some folks aren't sure if the people saying that are doing that off of a New Game Plus file or not, because apparently, because in New Game Plus, the game kind of like rigs the gacha in your favor to get your rare blades back really quickly. So a lot of people are kind of like going back and forth on that, like, oh, I'm getting my rare blades back, but other people saying, no, you're doing it. That's because you're playing a New Game Plus, and so it's really hard to tell for sure if they actually did change that.
I still have 2 rare blades I need to get, and I tried to when I upgraded and got the Switch 2 version. I still haven't. I had like 20 common core crystals, and I still did not get them, which was a little annoying. But
there's also amiibo support, which apparently that is introducing its own share of glitches. There's apparently like a weird glitch where sometimes if you use an amiibo, you can lose one of your accessory slots.
Oh,
I saw someone talk about that.
That's weird. Just a slot. That's.
But I think like you'll get it back if you restart the game. There's some interesting behavior with that.
Yeah, I tested it out because I did get Pyramethra's new costumes,
right?
By using, I think I used Pyra's amiibo, and then I just got
you can get them with their amiibos, and then you also get like weapon points, core crystals as well, among other items. So another huge thing, huge quality of life, probably one of the biggest quality of life things, because I think pretty much everybody is in agreement that, this is a good thing, is that the field skill system has been changed a bit.
Yes. Oh my gosh, yes.
So now you no longer have to have the blades engage with you, or I forgot, was it engaged or bonded? I forgot what the terminology is for it. But you no longer have to equip the blades to use the field skill. Just having them at all will give you the field skill thing.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's universal. I'm like, yes.
Yeah. Pretty much everybody agrees that's an improvement.
I would say that field skills were probably my personal biggest pain point with that game as a whole, because it felt like padding in an already massive game that did not need additional padding. So knowing that they have that is really, really nice. That will make future playthroughs so much easier, and not even like easier, but like just like a breath of fresh air. Like there's
just less menuing involved with it, which I think is a good thing, because I think it's enough that like you're collecting the blades, and it's like, okay, cool. Now that I have a blade with the specific skill, I can actually get past it.
Exactly. And then kind of tying into that, like collecting items now is so much faster because it doesn't like take its time to like check for all the field skills. It just kind of like the items just pop up so it's like so much easier to just collect items now in general.
Yeah. And the menus seem to be slightly snappier, but there are still some delays.
Yeah.
It's not complete. Yeah, the load times are still there, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But there are some bits of it are a little bit snappier.
Yeah, it's not perfect, but it's better.
Another big thing is we now have a whole new additional way of completing new Merc missions called the Merc Assault missions.
Yes.
So it's like a whole new gameplay style basically where you actually play as the Blades and you fight a few waves of enemies.
Mm-hmm.
And you can select up to, I think, how many was it? Was it like 5 Blades, I think?
I
think it was more.
5 or 6. Whatever you
5 or
do
6.
for like the missions is the same amount.
Yeah. So you can have a whole team of them, and of course you can have team names and all that. And they kind of have a lot of the same moves they do normally. It's just that now when you push a button, they'll actually attack. But that also means that you can actually whiff, especially if you're a ranged blade. So, like, yeah, if you're playing as Cosmos, for instance, you can actually miss attacks. And then your team has a share pool of HP as well. If that goes down, you lose. Yeah, so it looks like, because I actually haven't played this, I spent a lot of time watching people play this, so most of what I have to say about this, most of my commentary is from me watching it, so do not take what I have to say as gospel. I am just merely going by what I'm seeing, not from what I've actually played.
Oh, no.
Justin still doesn't have a Switch, too.
Exactly. I don't have a Switch, too, so I can only speak by what I'm seeing, not from what I'm playing.
I did get a Switch 2 this past week. This was kind of the reason why, but
You caved.
I had good news from the dentist, so I'm like, I'm gonna treat myself.
Hell yeah!
But yeah, I played the Merc Assault. It's really fun. Each I guess each blade has like a different role, like attacker, tank. I forget what else, but it's pretty fun. It's not like it's not like super complicated. I know some people I know people in the past have like, oh, I wish we had a Dynasty Warriors-esque Xenoblade game, and maybe this is the closest we'll get. I don't know.
Yeah, I've been seeing that a lot. I've been seeing a lot of people say, "Oh man, we finally have Xeno Warriors," and
you don't want that. You don't want that. You don't want that.
It's not even that I don't want that. I think calling this Xeno Warriors does a massive disservice to both games. Because this is nowhere near what you're getting in a Warriors game. Like, this is very, very simple.
Yeah,
it's like you're fighting basic enemies, a couple waves of them. Your characters don't have that many moves that you can actually do. You do have a block button.
Yes.
But
which is
the
block is kind of slow to react, I've noticed. But and yeah, it's not complicated because you have your basic attack. You have each character has a role art they can do, but it's mostly seems like it's like either defensive or you can either heal or increase your defense or attack, something like that. And then you have like your special attacks, and then there's also fever mode, which just kind of I think it increases the speed at which your special attacks charge up, and so it's not complicated, but it's simple enough that it's fun.
Yeah. I think what I would have loved to have seen them do with this mode, I think this mode could have gone really hard if instead of just fighting like just a bunch of like enemies, you fought like some of the super bosses like that.
Ooh.
Like imagine you had a mission where you're fighting like Cloud Sea King Ken. I think that could have been really cool. But alas, we got this. And for what it's worth, I think the biggest benefit to this mode is that you can level up your blades that way, their affinity nodes.
It's much faster than like the normal Merc missions.
So what you can do, and this is the thing that's great, is that it doesn't take up a Merc mission slot. So you can actually do 3 Merc missions and then do Merc Assault.
Mm-hmm.
So that way you're essentially doing 4 Merc missions at the same time, which is really cool.
Mm-hmm.
As for if you're going to try to like use this to level up your blades really quickly, you're probably going to want to just do the first couple like easy missions, the ones that are the fastest. But the thing is that, like, I can definitely see it getting kind of old since it takes you away from the game and you're basically just mashing a lot.
Like, there are some well, not a lot of mission variety, because there's either missions where you have to kill all the enemies, or collect a certain amount of items, or defend, which I haven't done a lot of the defense ones, but you just have to defend the character. That's kind of the only variety up there. Even the collecting items, you're just killing enemies until they've dropped enough items, and then you won.
And that would have been cool if there was like a defend where you're defending against like a super boss. Like, imagine defending against, like, what was that, Reeking Douglas or something like that had like that could spawn all the different dudes.
Oh god.
See, there's like fun things you could do with that. But yeah, as an extra mode, it's fine. It's fun as an extra mode.
Yeah.
And you can get weapon points from it too. Oh wait, no, you don't get weapon points. From the stream I saw, you didn't get it, but I don't know if that's true. Maybe it was just that mission they did.
I can't remember, because I know the rewards are usually just the same rewards you'd get from like the Merc missions, unless I'm mistaken.
Okay. There's also, if you play in English, there's a new battle announcer.
Yes.
There's a new battle announcer who's voiced by Rich Keeble, and it seems like he's that announcer is trying to like be closer to the Japanese announcer in some ways.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which the Japanese announcer is fun, but
the Japanese announcer is very fun.
Yeah.
People who only played in English, the Japanese announcer was more arcadey. I guess that's the way I want to put it.
Yeah,
it sounds like an arcade game, like he'd be announced in a fighting game or something.
Has more energy to him, yeah.
Yeah, and speaking of like recasts, there's a couple recasts here. Like Jomark has a new voice for the new quest.
Yeah,
Zeke also has a new voice actor in English as well. And if you go into the Blade bios, you could see some of that. You can see the extra voice actor listed.
Yeah, because Jomark's now played by Sam Douglas.
The whole game. Did they redub all of
it? No, just the new content.
There's a new mission.
Okay.
The new Blade quest for Momo, which we'll get to her in a minute.
Right.
But yeah, thankfully, the same voice actor throughout. It's kind of like what happened with Xenoblade X and Fandom.
I was going to say, is it as distracting as Fandom and Xenoblade X?
It's definitely noticeable. I don't know if I'd say it's quite as egregious as that, because
it's funny because like, after playing, it's funny. I remember hearing everybody talking about that, and like the new Fandom kind of grew on me towards the end. Like I got used to it to the point where I was like, he's fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that like. Comparison is the death of happiness, right? So, like, if we had never heard the other one, we would have heard that one and been like, this is fine. Mm-hmm. But, like, we liked the original Jack Vandam we liked that voice for that character. We have that preference. We're used to that. We enjoy that. Mm-hmm. The other guy did fine. It was fine. It's just, it wasn't what we know was a better, like a better fit for the character.
Mm-hmm.
Because we had heard it already. Like, that's why I try to be, like, so charitable to things like this, because it's not really their fault at the end of the day. It's not the voice actor's fault.
Right.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I think, like, Dromark's new voice and Zeke's new voice. I saw some people getting upset about Zeke's new voice, but I actually don't think it's that bad. I did watch the quest. Like, they're doing the best they can, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I need to go back and listen to it in English. I played that quest in Japanese for Xenosaga reasons, but
right.
I definitely need to. I'll definitely go back and check it out, because I know the English dub overall it has its flaws, but I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we have
Sky is back for Pyra and Mithra, of course. I know some people were apparently really worried about that.
Oh. Yeah,
But,
I was wondering why you made specific note of that.
yeah,
why would people have been worried about that?
Some people were thinking that Sky had abandoned Xeno because of the stupidity that was going on Twitter with her, because of a tweet she had made where she posted about her headcanon saying that, like, oh, in her headcanon, the photo in Xenoblade 3 didn't happen. And then a bunch of people were like, oh, so she's saying that she knows better than the writers of Xenoblade. Oh, look at this, an English voice actor trying to rewrite the game. And then, it got bad.
Well, y'all's first mistake was using Twitter.
Yeah. So, and I think Scott had made a comment that, like, she was like, all right, I'm done, like, talking to these people or something like that. And then people took that as, oh, she's abandoning Xeno. And it's like, no. That's not what that means, but sure.
Hey, I love the internet. I hate the internet.
Wow. Well, I'm glad she returned, as well as, at least as most people they could get back, like
Yeah.
Nia and, Morag and, I assume.
Yeah. Like,
Speaking of Morag, I scrolled up a little bit and I saw the picture y'all were talking about before we started recording. It doesn't even look like her. It doesn't even look like her, yo.
What he is referring to is that the voice actor for Morag made a Twitter post about returning, but she used some AI art of Morag, and it doesn't really look like the character.
Yeah, and there's, and believe me,
I don't even
the
know
comments are definitely pointing it out.
Do we even, like, I'm wondering, is, like, did she even make that flyer, or is that, like, somebody on her PR team doing that? Is that an agent?
I wonder that. And I would not be surprised.
That is a good point.
Like, that's my thing. Is, like, as an artist, because almost universally I've seen artists, like, of everywhere vehemently opposed to AI, as they should be. But, like, you know, people on the marketing team are like, ooh, free labor.
Yeah.
Click.
And, like, what's like really gets me about it is just, like, a lot of people are saying, oh, they were being lazy with it. It's like, no, that's not even being lazy, because if you Google Morag, like, one of the first images is a transparent render of Morag. You can make this flyer faster if you did it that way than if you were to, like, make a weird prompt about it.
It's trendy, Justin. It's trendy. If we don't use it, we'll look weird.
Yeah.
Update, since the recording of this episode, Kirsty Mitchell, the voice of Morag, has retracted that AI post, and she's listened to the fans, and everything's cool. She did a great job of interacting with the fans and being supportive, so good on her. All right, back to the episode.
Anyway, let's go on to...
Anyways, another massive new addition in this new update is we got our new blade, which is Momo. Yes, the Momo we saw in the Xenosaga games and also Super Robot Wars. I think she was in the second one.
Yes.
The second Endless Frontier game.
Yes, she is.
So
yeah, this is I know some people probably weren't surprised, but I was shocked that we got another Xenosaga character. I don't hate Momo. She's a good character. Her story can be very devastating, so but yeah, she is back, and she is, at least in Japanese, she is voiced by her original voice actor, Rumi Shishido. So that's pretty awesome. And her artwork was done by Choco.
Yep.
And
yeah, we can confirm that. They do mention Choco in the artist part. So speaking of Robot Wars, I just mentioned that because now I just realized I think every Xenosaga character that appeared in that is now in Xenoblade too.
Oh my god. Yeah, you're right.
Unless there was somebody else in that game that I'm not remembering.
I'm trying to remember.
I want it on the record. I am making a prediction here and now.
Uh-huh.
Xenosaga is coming back. It's coming back in some way, shape, or form. I'm thinking a port, or in a best case scenario, it would be full-on remakes of the trilogy. But I genuinely think that's happening because it feels like since the original release of Xenoblade Saga 2, it feels that like Takahashi has been like low-key nudging things in that direction, and with Future Redeemed, like and now this, it's just like there's so much more overwhelming things like building towards it, and there's too much evidence pointing towards like this is where this is going.
Well,
at some yeah, go ahead.
Oh, well, sorry to interrupt. But I don't know if you saw this, Justin, but I know there was a little kerfluffle for a little bit where people were like making some big logical leaps about how when Momo was announced, they didn't like mention Bandai Namco.
Right.
But for like Cosmos and Telos, when they were announced, they had like mentioned the trademark for Bandai Namco. So some people are theorizing that Nintendo bought the rights to Xenosaga. I don't know if I agree with that but I mean, it is curious, but at the same time, Nintendo might have just, maybe they did buy the rights, but they're like, Takahashi, we can't keep asking them for permission. Let's just buy the rights so we don't have to do
So
this.
for what it's worth, apparently that also happened with Bot and Kaitos as well. At least from what I heard. No, that like Bot and Kaitos didn't show up on Namco's site.
Oh yes, that too.
Saying that.
Yeah, that too. I remember that.
These two companies, you also have to acknowledge that these two companies are basically in bed with each other. Like Bamco was like a massive support lift on the development of Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and I even think it was they helped develop Smash 4 as well. I think
they also made Pokken. Was it Pokken or
Pokken Tournament?
Yeah.
The Venn diagram on these companies is large. Like the overlap period is overlap territory, whatever you want to call it, the middle section of the Venn diagram is getting pretty big, and I think that's a good thing. I think it's actually a great thing when two companies that have a lot of creative force behind them work together, because we have gotten some really incredible games out of their cooperation. And if it is the case that Nintendo bought the rights to Xenosaga, that would be cool, because that's obviously like a sign of like their amicable relationship. But even if they didn't, it still doesn't necessarily preclude the thing, because these two companies are already working together and collaborating so much on so many different fronts. So it's one of those things where like, didn't they, doesn't really matter. I still think that all signs are kind of like pointing to where things are going in a fairly obvious direction.
We shall see.
We will.
We shall see, because
only time will tell.
Exactly.
Yeah, and I think I would be very curious to see how a Xenosaga like re-release would be handled, especially with like the Yuki Kajiura parts. I don't know if there'll be some weird licensing with that.
Oh, yeah, because they have been weird about that in the past, haven't they?
I have no idea what you're talking about, but that's okay.
But that's a whole other thing.
Oh yeah.
Anyways, back on Momo.
Yes.
So yes, you have a new blade, and she has her weapon is technically a new weapon, but it's basically the ball.
Yep. And it's Bunny.
You don't have to roll for her, which is good.
Yes. Which that we mentioned earlier, there's an information menu. I was kind of dumb and couldn't find it at first because there's so many different information menus to go through. But yeah, it clearly you have to go to Tora's house to unlock Momo. because he just so happened to have her core all along, her core crystal.
Yeah, he has what he calls the sparkliest treasure ever. And you can get her pretty early on, because as long as you go back to Tora's house after you get Poppy, you can unlock Momo. So you can have her very, very early on in the quest.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and I didn't mention, but her English VA is Sarah Petard, which I did a little research. I saw that she is Darumi in 100 Line Last Defense Academy, and she was my favorite character in that. I didn't realize that was her, so that was pretty cool. But that's like, what, Momo's 4th voice actor in English or something like that. It's, yeah. But she sounded fine. She sounded fine from what little I heard.
Yeah, and we won't go into her quests today.
We don't have to.
That's something we could do another day, because there is stuff to talk about with that. But I think for now, we'll let more people play it.
Okay, I do want to mention, not really spoilers, but there is a character in her quest named Lazarus. And he's voiced by Masashi Ibara in the Japanese, which, if you're a Xenosaga fan, that is the original Japanese voice actor for Ziggy. So, very, very fitting. English version, it's by Rich Keeble again, who did the battle narrator for the Merc Assault, and he was also Minoko in Expedition 33.
Mm-hmm.
So that's all I had to say about that.
Yeah. As for raising Momo, definitely pay attention to her affinity chart. She actually has 2 of them.
Yes,
There's one for both forms.
I maxed out her first forms of affinity chart, and then I was a doofus and was like, wait, where's her second one? And it's like, oh, I forgot. You have to do it just like with Mithra, Pyra, and press I think it was X to switch over to...
Yeah, you can switch them in the menu, which is nice.
Momo, imaginary Momo, or imaginary mode Momo.
Right. And she is the first blade that can technically be 2 elements. I guess technically Pyra and Mithra are that too, but
true.
I think the game considers them 2 separate entities.
Yeah, it's interesting, because it's definitely pulling in some Xenosaga mythos and trying to incorporating it into the Xenoblade mythos in a way. That I thought was interesting.
You mean like future?
I mean,
because I listen. I'll be the first to admit I haven't played Xenosaga yet. I doesn't emulate well, and from what I understand, recomps are being worked on. So I'm kind of waiting for those. But like, I remember that when Future Redeemed dropped, everyone was losing their collective shit over the fact that it seemed to directly tie into Xenosaga. And so, like, that's what I mean by, like, like, when you say that the mythos is being tied in, are you talking about, like, the greater lore, or are you just talking about events?
I want to say the greater lore, because because it almost sounds like it's tying into, like, what went on in the Xenoblade X Definitive Edition with
yeah, there's a certain thing that seems like they're implying.
Mm-hmm.
I know we're being very vague, and it'll be something we'll elaborate on in a future episode.
Yeah, we can do that.
Mm-hmm. There's something about Momo that I guess overlaps with something we saw in Xenoblade X.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that's what it was.
Whether or not they're directly related is not entirely clear, because as I said, it seems to be more of a potential implication. But yeah, we will talk about that more in the future, because there is a bit to say about that.
You know,
the thing that I like about Momo, and I think is kind of funny, is that Momo's yet another light blade. And I just think it's so funny that we went from having like 2 light blades to now having like more. I think we have more light blades than certain other elements in the game.
Yeah, there's like so many, and then a lot of them are like DLC. Like I know Shulk's one of the light blades, and
Yeah, Shulk's one of the light blades. Corvin was like one of my main light blades.
And then the Poppy Buster, I think, is also a light blade as well.
Yeah. So it's very funny that we have so many. Like we went from having again another huge improvement from Xenoblade 2 back in 2017, and that was another reason why so many people were after Cosmos was because in order to get a light blade, you have to have either Mithra or Cosmos. There are no other options for light blades.
Monolith Soft heard us, and they provided.
I just googled Momo just because like I was curious to see if I had like seen this character before, and yeah, Momo's been on the cover art of some of the Xenosaga games, right?
That's.
I don't think so.
I don't.
Maybe on the back cover art, I think she has, but I don't think the front.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Oh, maybe
unless maybe in Xeno was she in Xenosaga 2's box art?
I know.
Wait, what am I saying? I've got the fucking trilogy right here.
Hey, that's.
No, she's not on the Xenosaga 2 one.
I remember.
She's on the. I think she's on the back of at least one of them. But
okay, because I remember her. I remember there were like floating heads on the Xenosaga 2 box art, but I can't remember which floating heads were there.
She's on the back of Xenosaga 1.
Woo!
That's what I thought. Yeah,
Floating head.
I knew.
That's where
I knew it was the. I knew it was the back. I was like, yeah.
But yeah, it was.
So yeah, as a blade in combat, from what I've seen, she doesn't seem like she's super strong. At least there's definitely better light blades. But crap, what skill was it? She had this one skill that was interesting because it's a skill that rare blades usually don't have. It was the one where like she adds an element when doing a blade combo. I think it was Orb Yeah, she had a skill that was basically like Orb Master, and that was kind of interesting because again, usually the common blades have that ability.
Okay, and then it's called 100 series system, or
okay, yeah, the 100 series system. Yeah, that was it. Yeah, that's the one that sounded like Orb Master, basically. It was like very similar to that.
Which, of course, is another Xenosaga reference.
Yes. Yeah, a couple of her skills are Xenosaga references, and of course, when you max out her nodes, there's a couple little Easter eggs in there as well.
Mm-hmm.
So, but again, that's for a future episode. We're not going to talk about them here.
Fair.
Because that does tie into the thing that's quote-unquote interesting about Momo.
And, of course, her favorite food is Master's Curry, which she gets very nostalgic about eating. But apparently in Japanese, it's Chief's Curry, to be, like, specific correct, like the translation would be.
Something like that, yeah.
Which, as
like
you know...
Chief's Curry.
Yeah, Chief being Shion. Which, it was interesting, wasn't it? Was it not Italian, but... Wasn't there some languages?
I think like the German version actually straight up called it Shion's Curry.
Which, shout out to the German translation team. They know what's up. Must have had some Xenosaga fans there.
Yeah. Which is like so wild, because I know we've spoken about this before, but just it's interesting to hear about Xenosaga fans in Europe, because they like didn't get most of the games.
Yeah. Yeah, if everybody listens, they should listen to the episode where you talk about the concert in France.
Yeah. That was a good time. They need to do that concert again. Have it in like New York. Everybody would go.
I would definitely plan a trip if they did that.
Do it in New York. Do it in LA. Do it in Montreal. Like, come on. Have at least one in North America.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe wait 2 years. See where things are at.
Okay. Well, anything else anybody wants to say about this new update?
Well, I'm looking forward to getting around to playing it eventually. It'll be good to revisit my save and go back and do the things that I did not do on my initial bum rush of the game. But
did you unlock Cosmos?
No, wanted to, but also wasn't going to subject myself to that, especially on stream.
Fair.
just because, but it's funny because like my experience playing this game for the first time was really nice, because some of the rare blades I got were like super clutch, and they came in handy. I think the first rare blade I pulled was agate, and like homegirl like had my back the entire game.
Yeah, she was
like
great.
I think I had her in the party at all times, and if she wasn't, she would be like somebody who like I would routinely swap out for, and like she was just not to be a pun, or not to do a pun or anything, but like she was my rock, so to speak. Like I could lean on agate, and she was very reliable throughout the entire playthrough. And some of the other blades that I pulled like weren't the most exciting, but my god, were they reliable. And I had a solid party more or less the entire game. And I would like to kind of go back and get more of them and see more of them, because these characters are so very missable but so very enjoyable at the same time. And that's kind of like the beauty of this game, is that everyone, because of the random nature in which you acquire some of these characters, everyone's experience is going to be inherently different. And I think that it's one of the things that may not have been intended with the game design, but it's a consequence, and it's such a cool thing that you can take a room full of people who played Xenoblade Chronicles 2, and all of them will have had very different experiences based on the blades that they pulled, and all have their own kind of like stories to tell regarding their playthrough of Xenoblade Chronicles 2. So I'm excited to go back to it. I'm excited to go back and see more of the things that I missed.
Nice. Yeah, I've been trying, since I got it, I've been mostly focusing on the new content, but I would also like to do another like full-fledged playthrough of the game and just enjoy it again. And then I'm just for the future, Xenoblade 3's definitive Switch 2 update looks like it's dropping in December. Is that right? Or
Xenoblade 3's update?
Yeah, for Switch 2.
Oh, that's a good question. I don't even know.
Because I'm looking
game,
which it will be interesting to see. Okay, because I have the upgrade pack page up right now. Let me see. Yeah, 4K 60 frames. Recruit a new hero, which I don't think we'll get another Xenosaga character, because that Xenoblade 2 seems like it's the Xenosaga love letter, but you never know who this hero might be. And there's going to be a defensive battles against waves of enemies, which I guess that's going to be different than the gauntlet that we already have from the DLC. So it will be interesting.
Yeah, we shall see. I know a lot of people are also wondering if these new modes are them testing things out for Genesis. And that's why there's been a lot of discourse as to whether or not Genesis is going to be like an action game. If they're just going to go full all in on that now.
It'd be interesting to see, like with the Merc, they would have to definitely make it more, like if the Merc Assault was like some type of test, I definitely see, like for like a full-fledged game, they would definitely need to do a lot more to make that, flesh that out a lot more. But it'd be interesting to see if that's just a test, or they're just having fun. I don't know.
Yeah. We still don't know much about Genesis, honestly, so we'll see when they release an update on that, which will probably come soon enough.
Oh yeah, especially with it coming out next year.
Yeah.
Okay.
We will definitely find out more about Genesis, and I'm very intrigued. I'm intrigued because for no reason other than the fact that Genesis seems so wildly different than everything we've seen thus far. And I'm curious. And cautiously optimistic as well, but like I'm always optimistic because I don't know what it is. I just love Takahashi's bullshit. I love this story that he has been telling, and like it's gotten to the point where for me at least he hasn't jumped the shark yet. So I'm excited to see where he's going with this. And I really love the world design in Genesis. It looks super interesting. I want to know more. But I'm very intrigued. I'm very intrigued. It's not what I was expecting from the next chapter in this grand story he's telling, but I am always somehow pleasantly surprised. Each game leaves something different with me, and I'm kind of excited to see where it goes from here.
Definitely. All right. Well, thank you very much for joining me today to discuss this.
Naturally.
Yeah, and we'll just look forward to what we have in the future. As far as the podcast, we are celebrating our 9th
season.
And we're gonna
holy shit.
Yeah, we're getting almost close to the double digits. That's very scary.
Yeah, over at Retro Roulette, we're 8 years old at this point. So we started in 2018, and
Xenochat is also turning 8 because I don't understand the concept of season numbering. Thank you.
We're also nearing double digits, and good lord, where has the time gone?
Well, yeah,
this is just insanity.
It really is. But yeah, just expect hopefully some interesting things in the future. But yeah, thank you everyone for joining and listening, and have a good night.
Yep, and I'll see you guys at Otakuton if any of you listening are going to be there. I'll have a panel there about retro Magical Girl games, so that'll be cool.
Okay, I'll try to put this up. I'll try to have this up soon so that advertise it.
No, you don't have to rush on that. Okay. It's fine.
Okay, well, enjoy. All right.
Yeah.
Good night.
Good night, everybody. Take care.
Take care, guys. Bye.